Good morning, this is Sue from Cordero Artistry. I'm going to share a little video on how I achieve my swirls in epoxy. I'm using MAKERPOXY by TotalBoat. First, we're going to start out with a color called Green Pyromorphite. Then we're going to add a little bit of royal gold. Beautiful. And lastly, on this board, we're going to use a white pearl. All of these colors are available through Meyspring. Next, we're going to start with layering the epoxy onto the board. The pineapple board that I'm using right here is available through TotallyBamboo.com. So the first layer we're going to put on the board is the green. You want to make sure that your board is level. Doesn't have to be exact, but pretty close, because once the epoxy starts to spread out, you want to make sure that your coat is not like leaning towards one side or the other. It's going to stay on top of the board and do like a self-leveling, which is good. Next, we're going to apply the coat of royal gold. And now this isn't an exact science or anything. You're just basically going to let the epoxy flow, because once you heat it up anyways, it's going to start blending into the next color. So now what I'm doing is heating up the epoxy, so you're going to pop all the little bubbles, the air bubbles that are starting to form. And you don't have to get rid of all of them. It's just really just to kind of help that process of them popping. So as you can see, when I hit it with the heat, the royal gold actually started blending into the green already. What I'm doing right now is taking some of the epoxy and putting a small layer on the outside. It's still going to continue to run, but I just don't like the drips that show afterwards. You just kind of want to make sure that it's doing a light layer, so as your epoxy flows over the side, it's going to grab and kind of not do drips, and that's, I don't really care for that. Somebody may actually like that. It's not my look. So all right, and then so the next layer that we're going to put on is a clear. And the reason that we're doing the clear next is because it's kind of creating a layer for when we apply the white. It's going to flow over top of it, not just blend with the colors. You'll see what I mean in just a second. So now here's the white. This white had been sitting there for a while because I was doing other pours, so it's a little bit thicker. But it'll thin out as soon as I hit it with the heat. And again, this is art, so just do it as thick as you want. If you like the white more, you can add more white. Just whatever flows for you. You're just creating a piece of art, and everybody's is different. This is not going to look like anybody else's. It's just your own. So as you can see, it's really hard to see the white, so I started to add a little bit more white and kind of work it in. Now, the process that I actually enjoy doing is I love the color blends, but for me, my dad was a firefighter, so I love the look of like fire flames. So I started using this pointy tool, and you can use pretty much anything that has a point. This has a metal tip, so it's actually easier to clean. I just draw it through there and kind of work on swirls. It's really, like I said, not an exact science. It's really just an art, a feel. So I kind of draw it through there, and just know that when you're creating these swirls, the epoxy is still moving, and it's not going to look exactly like you drew it on there the first time. It's going to continue to move. Not like drastically, but it'll spread out a little bit, the designs you're making. So, and that's what the beauty of all of this is that you'll never get another piece exactly like it. And that's how I achieve them. Thank you for watching.